Hello everyone and welcome to another round. It's round 5 already of the F1S Championship. Welcome to Poland, welcome to Białowieża, the historic track that held many emotional circuit races and very dominant as well. We still remember the win by 25 seconds, if I remember correctly, or 23 seconds in round 9 of the last season or something like that. It was an absolute dominant display, and that was perfect Grand Prix raced by Symbol Basti from Alpine 2353. Will we see another domination like that with Alpine being in the wonderful form, or maybe we'll see someone new on the podium like we saw lately, or maybe a returning team that still waits for a bit of glory over his I saw. Excuse me for that. But let's hope that this race will bring us a lot of good racing and hopefully will not be as dull as some of the Grand Prix that we have seen beforehand. Usually Polish Grand Prix is not that boring, so I believe we would see some very quality racing, especially how grid can get close in the historic circuit of Białowieża. But let's actually stop talking, let's see what awaits us on the grid with the qualifying complete. Who would have guessed? It's P20 for Nikita Mazepin and Matthias Kaiser fills in the last row. Continuing up the grid, we have Pastor Maldonado and Oliver Gata, Joe Guanyu and Ericsson for P16 and P15, and duo from BB4 Gabriel Bortoleto and Kush Maini. P12 is Sergio Perez and P11 is Oscar Piastri, a poor qualifying for the Australian if he wants to challenge the championship, not gonna lie. And P10 is for Kvyat, P9 is Isaac Hadjar, and P10 is Alex Palou for Gades. P7 is Nick Debris, P6 is David Beckman, P5 is Charles Leclerc, P4 is Joshua Dirksen, and a shocker, I'm not gonna lie, and it's Arvid Lindblad for FMS qualifying in P3, 0.07 away from the pole position. Fernando Alonso qualified P2, and it's Lewis Sharp who continues his run on pole position with Alpine. Still, we are waiting for the pole to win, to happen, but let's hope we would see this happening very soon, as it's been very close lately, but still not quite close with the front row holding 4 championships at once. Let's hope it will bring us some quality racing as we go to the lights out, and away we go, and it's going to be Lewis Sharp very much leading into the way, and he goes still leading the way. It's Arvid Lindblad goes up there trying to go onto the Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc getting into P3. It's Joshua Dirksen getting overtaken by David Beckman, and it's still Sharp leading the way. It's Leclerc fighting for second. He gets ahead of Fernando Alonso, now dives on the inside line of the Alpine car, and it's Leclerc leading the way. Fernando Alonso is running P3 ahead, trying to get ahead of Lewis Sharp, and he does get so, but it's Beckman who appears out of nowhere. He hits the board. He was for a moment he was there P2 for 1-2 for Koenigsegg, but there goes Arvid Lindblad on the outside line of the Koenigsegg car and gets into the top 4 once again. Beckman tries his best. There's Oscar Piastri trying to regain his places that he lost. Alex Palou is down to P9, Ericsson is down to P10, both of BB cars are into the top 12, Dirksen down to P14, Joe Guanyu is almost in the points with Kvyat only being in the way, Kaiser not having a great start, still running P13, P19 as Charles Leclerc now escaped the wrath of everyone else as Alonso is being overtaken by Piastri. Oh, Piastri hits the wall just a little bit there. Arvid Lindblad trying to keep everyone behind in his car, and he does pull a wonderful switchback on Alex Palou, and keeping Gades car behind as Palou uses his DRS, his energy bank to try and get ahead. He gets on the inside line, but a little bit too early braking for him to get past the Swedish man, or British, whatever you want to call him. Lewis Sharp down P7. pole position, by the way. There is Isaac Hadjar down to P10, so it's not the best weekend, it's not the best day for Alpine, seems like. So Arvid Lindblad down in damage, is going down slowly but surely, with Nick De Vries climbing up the ranks, Lewis Sharp also up there, Alonso still running P2, Leclerc escaped for P1, it's 1.4 ahead on his medium tire compound, and it's Alonso on softs. Piastri is on softs, almost no one's in hards. De Vries is in hards. I wonder if you're going to see another assassination attempt by the Dutchman, as Beckman is down to P7, Hadjar is up to P8 from where he was into P10. Bortoleto is doing really well when qualifying very low onto the point, so he's now running P9, and Ericsson down to P11. Kaiser though, he's trying to make moves from P19 now to P11, overtaking the Honda on the inside line. Zhou Guanyu also in the points for Lotus. They haven't been scoring very much, so only having a 1 point to their account, with FMS running away, with Goethe also doing the best as he can. Beckman already going for an early pit stop due to damage. Seems like cars haven't been lucky. Lindblad and Maini also have pitted. That's not good news for Lindblad, where he was running. He pitted lap 4, I believe, and now he's down to P17. So I'm sorry, FMS, but they're not doing really well. Going back to the top, it's Leclerc really losing his ground to Lewis Sharp and Fernando Alonso, who are fighting fiercely for that P2, and Fernando Alonso goes for only pit stop on his soft tire. So is Isaac Hadjar. De Vries inherits the P3. VTRB still trying to get their first podium. They are so close, but yeah, they are so far. But Piastri is there trying to keep his way into the championship, still leading the way on the drivers' championship by few points margin, and the last few races haven't been so lucky for the Australian, losing a bit of a ground. Now he's only 4 points ahead of Lewis Sharp, and 18 points to Isaac Hadjar, who is in P3, with Charles Leclerc suddenly getting to charge on the championship. He's now leading by 3 seconds over Lewis Sharp. De Vries still risking it, holding onto his cars. Piastri is on the medium tires, and Fernando Alonso is on the new softs. He is doing really well. Arvid Lindblad, although undercutted the entire field by like 3 laps, and he's actually getting back the places where he's been. He's now running P4, P7, though he could see himself getting ahead of maybe Piastri, who's losing a lot of time on those medium tires. So is Sharp, and so is De Vries, who have pitted early onto his hards. Where is Arvid Lindblad going to finish? He gets ahead of Honda, and he gets ahead of Alpine, barely missing out on Nick De Vries, who was already running away on those soft tire compound. It's now still Leclerc on the 8-second lead. Those tires though are on their last breath. He's losing a lot of time to Fernando Alonso, who's making those corners effortlessly, and he is pulling onto the pit stop. I don't think the Spanish driver will catch onto the Monegasque. He has already won the first Grand Prix of his career, and though Alonso have caught on, he is on the soft tire, Leclerc on the medium, and he hit the wall, of course. That's a very necessary thing to do when you are fighting for P1. Very necessary. So the tutorial by Fernando Alonso: the first thing you do when you're fighting for a win is to bottle it by hitting the wall. Yeah, take notes over his ISO. Take notes, because remember, take notes and you will be back on top soon. Anywho, Beckman is up into P3. De Vries is doing some shady stuff, keeping up with Leclerc in P1, as Fernando Alonso catches on to Beckman. Ericsson is up into P5. Both Alpines are fighting between another French civil war between them. Kushmaini, Piastri and Dirksen doing their best, though the Fijian car is struggling a little bit. Polo down to P11. Arvid Lindblad is undercut. I don't think it's working, though he will maybe undercut the entire field again, so he could get back to the top. I'm there. This is getting delusional at this point. As Leclerc is running away from De Vries. Alonso is catching onto this De Vries, managing to catch a slipstream and trying to make an overtake. He's getting blocked by his rear wing, but he does get the place semi-smoothly, now trying to chase Charles Leclerc, who's been absolute dominant display for this weekend for now, as Beckman's still running. P7. Oh, it's gonna be rain! It's gonna be a rain! And it's bad news for Zhou Guanyu, who's the only one who have pitted so far. And there goes the chance for points for Lotus. That could be a good time for Alonso and everyone else on the used tire. Not very good news for Leclerc. He has lost all his lead into the race. Oh, there is Sharp getting blocked. What is going on in the pit lane? Pierre Palou changed his tires on the way. He stopped on the way to change his tires. What the? Yeah, that was a very strategic maneuver as he moves up to P9, slowing both Hondas and Alpine down the way. And there goes Palou master plan as now we have rain. Alonso's now a good chance to have on equal tires with Charles Leclerc to try maybe and chase the Monegasque driver down. But still there is a little bit big gap between the Koenigsegg car and the Supernova. I wonder why. I really wonder why. The Supernova is definitely not a shitbox, I believe. It's not that like his teammate is running all the way down in P13. Definitely not. Anywho, I'm digressing way too much as we hit the commentator's curse. Palou goes into the grass. Lemblatt's undercut, I don't think it worked. He's down to P11. But don't worry, the delusion will keep coming. Piastri, Hajar, Sharp and Ericsson have been done dirty by Alex Palou, who have decided to park in the pit lane for like a couple seconds, change his tires, just stand on the driveway. Yeah, just get the mechanics out, manually remove the tire, and get his tires done. Well, just let the Alpines wait, just let the Hondas wait. This is absolute master plan by the Gades after they parted their ways with Honda. Yes. Anywho, where was I? Ah, yes, it's back to the racing, and Alonso, he's trying to do his best. I don't think he's actually trying, slowly making time to Charles Leclerc. Gotta exclude this out as we go to the mandatory hitting the wall. Damn, we are getting a very good time with those walls, it seems like so. Still, no one's on the slick tires, which is interesting. Mazepin is down to P20 with 8 seconds to go, and he's going to get lapped soon, I believe. No one's going in for a stop, which is Leclerc going to change the tires? No, he's not. It's Alonso. No, they are staying out. No one is going for a stop, and Sharp goes in. It's not a gamble though, the track is drying out and he's the first one to get a call to do so. It's Dirksen and Palou as well. Aret Lindblad uses the chase, Kaiser, Maini, everyone below the P8 getting the pit stop done. Goethe having a bit of a squabble with Kaiser in there, as now Sharp will catch up a lot of time on those slicks. As we check on the leaders, they are sliding like on ice. And strategists move, I believe strategists had a very big party before the race so that they managed that, as Lewis Sharp is gained a lot of time onto everyone else, where he's going to emerge. Oh, he is absolutely smashing him, and he's up to P3. He's up to P3, Lewis Sharp is up to P3, and he's right back on Alonso's back, and he will now target the Spaniard who's running in P2. Charles Leclerc is again on his own with 4.6 behind, as Alonso's pulling a risky strategy of using his battery on the straight, on a very short straight, to get his acceleration out of the corners as high as possible, dropping his gap to less than a second. There goes Charles Leclerc, though using back his battery, though it didn't pull him that much. Still 1 second lacking to Fernando Alonso, who seems like he caught the slipstream of the Monegasque driver, and he is driving wonderfully. He is not sliding any corners. He's slowly catching the Monegasque driver. He tries to go on the outside line, and he fails. Leclerc defending real well, not letting him by off the racing line, as Leclerc getting the corners really well done. Alonso not so much, and he's still sitting behind his rear wing now using his battery. Leclerc is doing this too, but it's Alonso who gets the lead of the Grand Prix. Now it's Leclerc trying to go back, he hits the wall, getting a head-to-head into the corner. Alonso using the rest of his battery, but Leclerc manages to squeeze by. Alonso trying to pull a switchback on the Monegasque, and it didn't work. Yeah, I hope you had fun, because this is going to be an only thing that was interesting in this race. Oh, just kidding, of course, as we're getting the very interesting fight between the World Constructors Championship and the team fighting for survival. Please enjoy over Iso, a clap for them as they are striving to get a point in this championship. Gotcha looking to get his first point in the career. Kaiser going down to up to P13. Lindblad is up to down to P11. Both of the VT cars not doing really well too. Palou is on the Piastri's back. Ericsson is in front of Piastri, which is very interesting. Beckman is getting blocked by Isaac Hadjar. Sharp is on Alonso, and Leclerc is just cruising. He's just chilling. He's just chilling. 1 second ahead. Just doing nothing. Just existing, you know. And he's going to enjoy his time just being in there. And yeah. Just casually catching on to the World Championship as he's very close, to be honest. To get to that leader, only 28 points. So if Piastri, Sharp, and Hadjar decide to randomly DNF during the race, yeah, he is getting the P1 on the drivers' championship. Koenigsegg will be very happy about that one. Alonso have been overtaken by Lewis Sharp, and he get that position back real quickly. There is a small train forming behind Kaiser, which is Gotthe, Perez, Bortoletto, and Daniel Kvyat. Everyone else, as Kaiser decides to pit, and Gotthe inherits the P13. Perez trying his best to squeeze behind FMS car, not doing really well at his job of being good, and now managing to go on the inside line and squeezing behind. As the Gotthe though, Gotthe is pulling a really weak fight to the Dutch team, and he does get the position back. Going as Sharp continues catching Fernando Alonso. Seems like they are slipstreaming each other to try and get closer to Charles Leclerc, who's now going to encounter traffic of Sauber, I mean Orlen, I mean Lotus. I'm sorry, I cannot speak properly. It's the I'm so sorry to the Orlen team, I mean Lotus team, for mispronouncing their name. If you know, you know. Very old reference in there, some very big heritage for F1S, and how good was the Orlen team. Going back to the race, Alonso has dropped back all the way down to P4, just behind Isaac Hadjar. They have the synchronized pit stop. Oh, holding Piastri back. Oh, this is going to be very... he lost a couple seconds in there, as Maini manages to slip behind Isaac Hadjar, and Fernando Alonso have pitted onto the soft tire compound. There's still 14 laps to go, and softs are not going to cut that run any much shorter. And just have been going to try and slipstream each other, or any way possible to try and get ahead, as Alonso already picked up some damage. Yup, you're pitted for a new set of... So yeah, just damage your car, just make it slower so that I cannot catch up to the lead. As Leclerc getting still running his mediums for a very long time. Palou gets into P2 on his equally dead mediums, as Sharp now managing to come up just in front of Fernando Alonso, being held by Palou in there. So is Fernando Alonso, his fellow Spanish citizen, keeping him behind. Now it's only praying that Leclerc overstays it. He stays out! He stays out on those medium tires. Oh, this is going to cost him so much, as he's losing a lot. He's going to lose a bit of time, to Fernando Alonso and Lewis Sharp, who are on the very much fresher tires. As he hits the grass, his car is damaged. He's going to slide a lot onto the track, and he's going to lose all that lead he collected throughout the race. Not touching grass here, not in there. Look how his car is sliding, and compare it to both Alpines and the Supernova, who are absolutely driving effortlessly in their cars. But will this trio manage to squeeze by Charles Leclerc? Yes, he does. He drops back all the way to 4th. His strategist now not doing a great work, as Fernando Alonso is now leading the way on the Polish Grand Prix. It's both Alpines behind, and Leclerc on the new set of softs. He is going to either put a very risky strat of holding those tires till the end, or maybe he will pit one more time as he gets past Isaac Hadjar. Lewis Sharp on those high tires. He's looking till the end on those tires, I believe, as Leclerc is getting overtaken by Isaac Hadjar. rather quickly, and that's how he lost his win probably, with Fernando Alonso now escaping both Alpines, strategically hitting the wall again, as, oh, that was a very clean overtake by Lewis Sharp. Going down the grid, we see Palou in P10, getting chased by Arvid Lindblad in P11, who haven't moved an inch closer seems like, so Kaiser is up to P12, so that's a one more place gained for the... never mind. Both Verizaiser are about to score a very grand amount of 1 point, as there is still fighting in the P4, top 4, with both the Alpines struggling to get close to Leclerc, who is now managed to catch on to the Fernando Alonso, who is now having the Koenigsegg up his rear wing. Oh, there goes Leclerc, and there goes Rain! And there goes Rain, we gotta have another Rain with 9 laps to go, and it's going to be not very good news for Leclerc, who has basically lost his entire lead onto the Grand Prix, with Lewis Sharp just hitting his rear wing, just to be friendly, you know, just friendly nudges there. As Alonso is getting stopped by Zaccario at pit stop, Lewis Sharp managing to jump Charles Leclerc on this pit stop as he goes inters. Leclerc too, Fernando Alonso choosing full wet. He's gambling that the rain is going to last a bit longer amount of time as he tries to catch Charles Leclerc on those full wets. This is slower than the Koenigsegg car, but still doing a really good job at keeping this shitbox at the grid. With P3 as of now, Lewis Sharp is escaping Charles Leclerc, and Fernando Alonso is actually catching on the slower tire compound. It wasn't a good gamble as the track's already starting to dry out, so we could see some drivers already trying to push onto the pit lane as Leclerc strategically hits the wall. Of course, this genius. It's almost frightening, I have to say. I don't know what the racing line is according to our drivers. Just go straight, hit the wall again, and remember to just hit the wall again. As they are staying out again. What are they doing? The track is going to dry out. The sun is coming out, so maybe they've gambled a little bit there. It's Piastri who's the first one in, just behind Joshua Durksen. And he is the only one, seems like so, as Palou is staying out. Arvid Lindblad, is he coming in? Yes, he is. Fiat, what are you doing? You are throwing the only chance of your team. Kaiser staying out. Yup. Yep, those are your drivers. Yep. As Lewis Sharp is currently leading the way, he is now pitting on from those inters. Let's just remind you that he started from pole, so he is on this way to convert a pole to win if he gets this sprint now on those 5 laps to go in front of Charles Leclerc, who is just right up his rear wing on seems like a faster car. And he does use his battery to get closer to New Zealander, going through the round and round. I have no idea what the corners are named, to be honest. As Arvid Lindblad, Bortoletto and Joe Guanyu are the only one who did 7 pits stops. And yeah, but see, oh, it's over. It's over. The dream is over. It's Charles Leclerc going back right through, and it's Lewis Sharp that can do nothing about it. Almost hitting the wall in there, I guess. Hitting the wall was a luck strategy, I guess, and now the luck is gone, so there is no P1 for the New Zealander, as Alonso's trying to keep up with having the P3. Alpine is right behind him. Ericsson fighting De Vries for P5. Beckman is comfortably sitting in P7. Piastri is P8. Dirks is P9. Palou is P10, and outside is Arvid Lindblad, Maini, Fiat, and Perez in the point zone, with Kaiser just below the threshold, fighting Sergio Perez, and he does get through. Whereas Beckman trained when he needed the most, it would have been so comical to see him holding everyone on the grid once again, as Lewis Sharp have lost his 0.1 second already and 1 lap to Charles Leclerc. What does he have in the car? I will call the stewards to just check, just a friendly check on the Leclerc's car to see if there are any drugs in this car, because it does not seem so normal that he's so goddamn fast. as Fernando Alonso using his battery to get ahead of Lewis Sharp, and he does get through. Now this is a bigger challenge of catching to Leclerc, who has comfortably been running, comfortably, quote unquote, and in the P1 with some struggles along the way, but now he's still leading, and the chase is on. Fernando Alonso and Lewis Sharp, they have each other to slip through if they get lucky, as Fernando Alonso seems like to catch slowly but surely with Charles Leclerc, hits the wall just in case, you know, and maybe it could be used for us. Now Alonso's going on the inside line, he gets through, Charles Leclerc's going wide, and it's now 2 laps to go, and Fernando Alonso is in the lead. Leclerc is he going to give up or no? It's we're going to see it through as Leclerc tries to on the inside line but goes way too wide on the exit. Fernando Alonso still has the lead as we go to the last lap of the race. Leclerc is trying to use remaining of a battery. No, he's not enough. That's Alonso's trying to run away. Lewis Sharp now caught on the Charles Leclerc. He drops back to P3. It's not enough. It's going to be a fight between pole position sitter and Fernando Alonso, who has been looking to get his third championship going. So is Lewis Sharp by signing to Alpine. Now Leclerc is getting closer. So is Lewis Sharp. It's going to be late last lap drama. Fernando Alonso leading by around 0.2 of a second. Leclerc on the inside line of Lewis Sharp. They're fighting with each other, losing the time. Is Leclerc going through? Is he going to steal the lead of the Chances? He steals the lead, and it's Leclerc who gets the win just on the last straight. He steals the win of Fernando Alonso. He took the win on the last straight, on the home Grand Prix of the Polish team. What a disappointment. Charles Leclerc wins the Polish Grand Prix, and there goes their dream of Fernando Alonso. Leclerc is done. Leclerc is first, Fernando Alonso is second, and Sharp is third. Oh, absolute cinema, this ending. He bottled the win. It was so close, yet so far to get the win going. But there we go. So close, but not enough for him, as we have to patient. Oh God. What is this car? Yeah, okay, we're not going to watch Mazepin finish the race. As we go back to the top, it's what a way it was by Charles Leclerc. I am absolutely flabbergasted by what he has pulled through all the strategy mishaps, through all the pain he had got during this Grand Prix, but he gets through, and he does get the dub, and he gets the win for Koenigsegg number 2 and in the row, which is even more impressive. So let's just appreciate what have happened, and let's hear the national anthem for the winner. It's again going to be a Monegasque anthem for Charles Leclerc, and it's going to be an anthem of Sweden for the Koenigsegg once again. So please, everyone stand up for the national anthem of the victors. Thank you everyone who have been here through the way, through the entire Grand Prix, which was very interesting to say the least. That was something to watch, something to commentate. Thank you everyone who has been here, and see you next time on the next Grand Prix coming to F1S. Is going to be the Grand Prix of Greece, debuting on the calendar. So thank you everyone, and see you next time.